Every so often, mankind builds something not because it needs to, but because it can. Before efficiency ruled the road, before computers told engines how to breathe, there was a time when engineers built machines like gods sculpting thunder. No limits, no logic, no mercy for fuel. This is the story of that era, a time when ambition was louder than reason, and engines were built like monuments to excess. Tonight, we open the vault on 7 machines so absurd, they turned roads into runways and companies into legends. You're watching The Gear Age. Subscribe for more stories of steel, speed, and the machines that made history. Number 1. Packard Straight 12 Prototype 1929. There's a fine line between genius and madness. Packard didn't just cross it. They built an engine on the other side. Late 1920s. America's luxury wars were raging. Cadillac had 16 cylinders. Marmon was testing 12s. Packard's engineers decided, why not both? The result was a 13-liter straight 12, not a V12, not split. One long block of continuous combustion stretching over 6 feet. It didn't fit under any hood they had. They had to build a new car around it. The crankshaft was nearly 7 feet long, and it flexed under its own weight. Cooling was chaos. The front cylinders froze. The back ones boiled. Changing spark plugs required the patience of a saint and the arms of an orangutan. It ran briefly. It roared once. Then it twisted the car like a pretzel and nearly destroyed its own frame. Packard scrapped it quietly. No photos, no survivors, just blueprints, myths, and one note from an engineer that read simply, beautiful, impossible, perfect. Number 2. Alfa Romeo Tipo 162 1938. If Ferrari was poetry, Alfa Romeo in the 1930s was mad science. The Tipo 162 was their moonshot, a 4.2-liter V16, 2 inline 8s joined together by stubborn genius. Originally built for Grand Prix racing, it screamed to 12,000 RPM at a time when most engines wheezed at 3. When racing ended, Alfa asked a dangerous question. What if we put this in a road car? They did, and the result was symphonic insanity. 300 horsepower. A sound described as 1,000 angry hornets performing opera. Only a few were ever made, mostly for aristocrats and racers who wanted to drive their race car to dinner. Each one was hand-assembled, each tuned like an instrument. Even today, car historians don't describe it in data. They describe it in feelings. It wasn't an engine. It was music. Mechanical, furious, unforgettable. Number 3. Bentley 8-liter 1930. Across the channel, W.O. Bentley had a dream. Not to build the fastest car, not even the most powerful one, but the best. His creation, the Bentley 8-liter, a straight 6 so long it needed its own gravity field. 8 liters of displacement. A crankshaft the size of a battering ram. Smooth, silent, unstoppable. It could reach 100 miles per hour in 1930 when airplanes were barely breaking 120. But the timing was tragic. The Great Depression hit, and Bentley's masterpiece, priced like a palace, killed the company. Rolls-Royce bought them out. Bentley's name survived, but his independence didn't. The 8-liter became a legend, not for how it ran, but for what it cost to dream too big. Today, surviving examples sell for millions. Every piston inside still whispers the same thing. Perfection was worth it. Number 4. Tatra Type 80, 1931. In the heart of Czechoslovakia, a company better known for trucks and air cooling built something utterly unhinged. The Tatra Type 80, a 7.3-liter air-cooled V12. 12 pistons, no coolant, because apparently Tatra decided water was for cowards. The engine looked like a metallic hedgehog, fins, ducts, and tubes sticking out like a mechanical animal. It made just 120 horsepower, but the torque could pull down a barn. 15 were built, mostly for government officials and industrial tycoons. Every one of them handmade. The sound, like 12 aircraft engines warming up in sync. Neighbors didn't complain. They saluted. But the world had no place for such absurd engineering. The Depression crushed sales, and World War II erased most of the survivors. A few remain in museums, a relic of the one time the Czechs built something simply because they could. Number 5. Cadillac V16, 1930. Cadillac's engineers didn't design this engine. They orchestrated it. The 7.4-liter V16 debuted at the worst possible time, right as the Great Depression began. It made 185 horsepower, but that number didn't matter. What mattered was smoothness. It idled at 275 RPM, slower than most washing machines today. When you started it, you didn't hear it. You felt it, faintly, like a heartbeat in the metal. The engine was actually two inline-eights joined together. Complex, costly, beautifully pointless. But it worked. Movie stars, industrial barons, even gangsters, they all drove Cadillac V16. It became a symbol of defiance. While the world starved, the V16 whispered, "Luxury never dies." Cadillac would survive. Most of its rivals didn't. The V16 became their crown, and everyone else's gravestone. Number 6. Pierce Arrow. Silver Arrow, 1933. Pierce Arrow was already dying when they built the Silver Arrow. So they decided to go out like a movie star, in absolute style. A sculpted body of Art Deco perfection, concealed tires, rear hinged doors, and beneath it all, a 7.6-liter V12 that purred like silk. 175 horsepower of serenity. So smooth you could balance a coin on the hood at idle. It wasn't built to be fast. It was built to be flawless. They made 5, sold 5, and then the company folded. 3 remain today, rolling ghosts of an America that once believed beauty alone could save you. It didn't, but it made one hell of a final bow. Number 7. Bugatti Type 41 Royale, 1927. Imagine looking at the luxury market and thinking, these peasants' cars are too small. That was Ettore Bugatti's logic, and the Royale was his response. A 12.7-liter straight 8, originally designed to power aircraft. It was smooth, elegant, and enormous. The crankshaft weighed more than some engines. Torque came on like gravity. Bugatti planned to sell 25 to European royalty. He sold 3. Even kings thought it was excessive. The other engines were reused in French trains. It was the most expensive failure in automotive history. And yet, time has done what it always does. It turned a mistake into a masterpiece. Today, each surviving Royale is worth over $20 million. Proof that sometimes being too much is exactly enough. These machines weren't built to be practical. They were built to make a point. To prove that human imagination is louder than reason. That the best things we've ever made were made when no one asked why. The Great Depression buried these giants, but their sound, That deep, impossible rumble still echoes through every car built since. Because we don't remember the safe designs. We remember the ones that dared to break physics. This was the gear age, and the engines that powered it never really stopped running. Subscribe to The Gear Age for more stories of the machines that defined our history, one turn of a crank at a time.